Hi all, welcome to Trity Technologies. Subscribe and share our channel to your friends and families, and don't forget to comment about your feedbacks. And also join in Telegram channel if you have any queries. Post there so that I'll try to reply you back. And also we have a huge active community of 2,500 people joining Telegram, so that they will also try to reply you back if you have any queries. So today we will discuss more on DevOps. Okay, so why uh, people wanted to learn DevOps, but they are not sure like how to start that. So a lot of people are unaware of where to start and how to design their learning path. Okay, so I'll try to post that today in this session. Maybe it will be around 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm also doing this in English today. So a lot of people are asking to do it in English. So this is just to give you an overview on learning. So I thought of doing it in English so that a lot of people will get to know what exactly is happening on the DevOps. Okay, so uh, first of all, this is also for freshers who wants to come into the DevOps, and also with the people who have experience in other technologies and they wanted to shift to the DevOps, and also people who have their career gaps and they want to come into the DevOps. Okay, so it's like it's same for everyone. Okay, but except the people who have already working in IT in another technology, and if they want to move into the DevOps, uh, the path will be a bit easier for them because they already know what is happening in the organizations, and they know what is the working process we have in the IT. So that part will be easy for them. So whenever they are attending interviews, so that will make their life easy when compared with the people who doesn't know anything about IT, or if they have if they are working on a non-IT backgrounds, or if they are very much freshers in the industry. Okay, so but when you are talking about learning path, it is same for everyone. Okay, so we'll see what exactly and what will be the mindset of the people when they are thinking about the DevOps. Okay, so whenever you are thinking about DevOps, the first thing comes are tools. Like, you may be thinking like, what how should I need to learn these many tools? Like, we have a lot of tools. At least you need to have six technologies or six tools. Okay, so you need to practice on six tools, or you need to get an overview of these six tools. You need to have an good hands-on on these six tools, or seven tools, eight tools. There are a lot of tools, but minimum of six tools. Okay, so minimum five to six tools you should definitely learn to get into the DevOps. Okay, so first thing, there are some prerequisites. Okay, so if you are missing these prerequisites, you cannot come into the DevOps. Okay, and these prerequisites itself are or can create jobs for you. Okay, so why I'm saying that is because in this prerequisite you will have Linux, you will have networking, and you will have scripting. Okay, so by having these three technologies also, you can do job, like you can get a job for sure. Okay, so it is also often high paid jobs. Okay, so when you're talking about Linux with networking and scripting, okay, so there are a lot of opportunities outside with these three technologies also, but these three are very much prerequisites for DevOps. Okay, so if you want to come into the DevOps, you should know all these three things. Okay, so if you want to know what is Linux, if you want to know what is basic networking, I'm talking about basic networking. I'm not talking about whole CCNA kind of uh, product or CCNA certifications. I'm not talking about that. Okay, but this is just a basic networking, like how things work. How what do you mean by TCP/IP protocols? What are the layer 7 networking stack, and what is private IP? What is public IP? What is these VPCs are exactly doing, and how you connect to your servers? What is a VPN? What is a jump host? What all the load balancers we have? Okay, so these kind of stuff you should know. Okay, so but not entire CCNA stack. Okay, so try to get the basic networking and Linux administration. You should at least have knowledge till intermediate level. Okay, so if not advanced. Okay, but basic level is something which everyone knows. Okay, so when you want to come into the IT, this is very mandatory now that you should know Linux. Okay, so whenever you are talking about Linux, you should have at least knowledge as an intermediate level, because every interview nowadays, even if it is a DevOps or whatever the interview it is, they are starting with Linux. So interviewer starting with Linux means if you are not able to answer at least like if you ask around 8 questions in Linux, you should at least answer 5 questions. Okay, so if you are not unable to answer Linux itself, he is not going to ask you about DevOps, because he himself, like he in his mind he will be rejecting you at that point of time itself. Okay, so it is always important that you know Linux without knowing the Linux administration or Linux basics, how you check your disk spaces, how you check your memory, how you troubleshoot simple things, basic networking on Linux. Okay, so you should have that knowledge, otherwise it is very difficult for you to crack the interview. Okay, so networking basics I've already given you, and the scripting. Okay, so scripting also, it's not like we are not talking about advanced level scripting. Okay, so you should at least know your basics and also some intermediate concepts, where if someone gives you a task like to query a database, or to go and fetch some data from another folder or another server, I'll go and check whether this link is working or not, URL is working or not, and write a code to get or um, manage all the logs. Okay, so I need something like you have to write a code where you go and search all the logs, but you fetch only things which have errors. Okay, so this kind of concept, like basic programming, you should know. Okay, so whatever it might be Python, it might be Bash, it might be Node.js. Okay, so but at least you should know one scripting language knowledge. Otherwise it will be very tough for you to survive in the DevOps. um, as like it's very tough to survive as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so these are all the prerequisites. Okay, so even if you know these three, you can crack a job. That is what I'm saying. Okay, so you should have this knowledge. Okay, so without this knowledge, you cannot come into the DevOps. Okay, so this is your first learning path. As I said always, like this is your learning path. So if you know Telugu, and if you want to get all this stuff, you can come and check out our channel, where all the required prerequisites are available in our channel. Like if you're talking about Linux, we have everything from basics to advanced. If you are talking about basic networking security, I've already done that video. And if you're talking about scripting, we have complete bash scripting and also basics of Python. Okay, so you can go and watch there, so that you will get a clear picture of what is happening, like what required for the DevOps engineer. Okay, so this is mandatory to come or to learn a like to learn DevOps tools, or to get a job as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so this is the prerequisite, and I hope you guys already know this. If you are if you are being trained in the DevOps, or if you are going for the DevOps, because if you are joining in any of the training institutes, they are not going to give you all this stuff. They're definitely not going to teach you this stuff. Okay, so they'll directly jump into the DevOps tools, and they will teach you the DevOps directly, but they are not going to talk about these prerequisites. These prerequisites are something you need to learn. Okay, so definitely go and manage these three, so that if you are unable to get the job in DevOps also, you can try in these three technologies or these technologies. If you keep it as Linux administrator, definitely you will get the job. Okay, so this is about the prerequisites. Okay, so next comes your tools. Okay, so whenever you are talking about tools, okay, so first you need to get an idea like what that tool is doing. Okay, so we are talking about CI CD. Always we are talking about CI and CD. Okay, so you should know what is the CI tools we have, like Jenkins, we have GitLab, we have Bamboo, and we have Travis CI. Okay, so there are a lot of tools which are in the market now. Okay, so most of us are going with the Jenkins or GitLab. Okay, so GitLab is the one which is coming up very fastly in the market right now, and also a lot of people are still using Jenkins, and it is still very strong in the market. Okay, so but why you are using this tool? Okay, so you should know why you are using this tool. If you doesn't know, go to our channel and see why, what is CI, what is CD, what exactly we are talking about, continuous integration and continuous development, and how this Jenkins tool works in the real time, and why we are using this in the real time, why we require this in the first place. Okay, so you need to know all those stuff, and also you need to know why and how this is been set up. Okay, so this is very important thing when you are talking about tools. Okay, so another major important tool, first tool that you need to learn is Git or GitHub, or you have Bitbucket. Okay, so even we have SVN, here we have lot of tools. Okay, but the majorly used tool is GitHub. Okay, because a lot of people are using this in the organizations also. Every organization have their own private GitHub. Okay, so this is very much like within the organization right now. So uh, you have to learn what is GitHub, how you log into the Git, or how you push the code to the GitHub, how you pull the code from the GitHub, so how you create your branches, how you create your master branch, like how you merge your feature branches into master branch. Okay, so some minimum stuff you need to know. Okay, so I would say like you need to at least know how to pull, push, how to merge your branches, what is merge conflict. Okay, so these basic stuff, but not like extensively uh, Git administrator or a Git developer. Okay, because when you are doing this from the public repository or something, it requires lot of knowledge, like how you are doing this, how you are getting the conflicts, how you manage those conflicts and all stuff. Okay, but GitHub, when you are when you are saying about GitHub. Okay, so you no need to have that extensive of things. Okay, so it's very basic a tool that you can learn very easily. Okay, and I've already talked about Jenkins, like why you need Jenkins and all stuff. Okay, so these two are very important. Okay, so these two are like mandatory stuff. Okay, so you need to know you need to know about these tools. Okay, so there is no exception to leave any one of these tools, like when you are talking about repository and also the CI tools. Okay, so this is very much mandatory. Okay, so these two are very much mandatory tools. Okay, so then one more very important thing you need to know is cloud. Okay, so cloud is also, it's very much mandatory nowadays. Okay, so without cloud you cannot survive in the IT right now. Okay, so every organization is moving to the cloud. Every organization have their own infrastructure sitting on the cloud. Okay, so cloud is very much important. Okay, so which cloud provider you are going is totally depends. Okay, so AWS or Google or Azure. Okay, whatever the cloud you wanted to go, you can choose, you can opt for that. But okay, so if you go for AWS and Azure, you have a lot of demand in the market when you compare with the Google cloud. Okay, so cloud is one thing which is very much mandatory. Okay, so when you are when you are talking about these two tools, you should also have knowledge on one of the clouds. Okay, so here it totally depends on where your application is going and sitting. Okay, because a lot of people are using Kubernetes out of this cloud. Okay, and also if you are talking about VMs, you should know whole networking part, like how VPCs are working, and how you are deploying your VMs on the VPCs, how your network works, what are the subnets, what are the CIDRs, what is internet gateway. Okay, so you should know all this stuff. Okay, so without knowing this stuff, okay, so you cannot go as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so that is also one more very important thing. Okay, so these three are the major things. Okay, so you should know. Okay, so then after comes your tools like Ansible, Terraform, then Docker, then Kubernetes. Okay, so after that there are a lot of tools that you can uh, integrate with your CI tools. Okay, so that is, it might be your Jenkins, GitLab, or whatever the CI tool it is. Okay, so you can integrate all these tools with these with the CI Jenkins or GitLab tools. Okay, so you can integrate all these tools. Okay, so the major thing why we are using Ansible. Okay, so whenever we are talking about Ansible, okay, so Ansible is the one which is nothing but a configuration management tool where you can deploy your applications automatically if you have number of servers which are running, like if you have hundreds of servers, and if you want to automate your application deployment, you can easily do with the Ansible. Okay, so that is one thing. And next thing is your Terraform. Okay, so when you're talking about Terraform is the one which is an infrastructure as a code. Okay, so you are building your infrastructure automatically by integrating with any one of the CI tools. Then comes Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so Docker is the one which is used to build your images. Okay, so you need to build your images. So we have uh, Docker provider. Docker is the provider to manage all your containers or create your images through the create your containers through the images. Okay, so that is where we are using Dockers, and Kubernetes is the one which is used for the orchestration of all these uh, containers. Okay, so you should know Docker if you are going for the Kubernetes, because you should know how to build your images. Okay, so we are building images using Docker because Docker is the one provider which is leading in the market right now. So definitely you should go for the Docker when you are talking about the Kubernetes. Okay, so these are all the things, these are all the tools you should know. Okay, so you might ask, like, is all these tools are mandatory to go? Okay, so for example, if you are deploying your application onto the VMs, okay, so there is no way that this Kubernetes comes into the picture. Okay, so you can skip these two tools here. Okay, and also if you are not deploying your infrastructure using Terraform, or if you are only using AWS, then you will have CloudFormation. Okay, so using CloudFormation templates, you are deploying your infrastructure. Then Terraform is also being, like, you can skip the Terraform also. Okay, so only you are left with the Ansible. Okay, so Ansible is the one which is required to deploy your application. Okay, so even in some scenarios you also not required Ansible. Okay, so in some scenarios, if you are going for the, for example, you are not deploying it on the deploying on the VMs, you are deploying on the Kubernetes. Okay, so you see that Ansible is not required. Okay, you can also deploy using Ansible, but in some cases or in most of the organizations, they are not using Ansible to deploy it on the Kubernetes. Okay, so here you can skip Ansible, you can skip Terraform, then you can directly go for Docker Kubernetes with all these tools. Okay, so it totally depends on the project which you are going to deploy. Okay, so when you are starting up, okay, so like I said, when you are starting up, so these are all the prerequisites you should have. You should go with GitHub, Jenkins, then one of the clouds. Okay, if you are good with these six, okay, so these three prerequisites and these three tools, okay, then you can opt for these tools, so Ansible, Terraform, Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, but this is, there is no mandatory thing that you need to learn all these tools. Okay, so no one is going to even if you are going for the interview, no one is going to ask you about Ansible if you have not put that in your resume. No one is going to ask you about Terraform if you have not at all uh, mentioned that in your resume. Even Kubernetes and Docker, whenever you are mentioning that in your resume, you should know that tool. Okay, otherwise no one is going to ask you about those tools. At least if they have that requirement, they will post a question like do you know? Okay, so for example, you have not put Terraform or Kubernetes in your resume. Okay, so definitely if if it is used in their project, he will definitely come and ask you about these tools. Okay, so he will just post you a question like, do you know this or not? Okay, so do you know Kubernetes? Then you will say, yes, I know Kubernetes, but I have not used that extensively in our project. I don't have any hands-on, but I have learned outside. I have some basic knowledge on Kubernetes. Definitely, if I get an opportunity, I'm very much looking forward to work on that too. Okay, so if you are giving this confidence to the interviewer, then they definitely will consider your profile. Okay, so whenever you are going for the training outside, or if you're going for the training, offline trainings, like we have a lot of offline trainings, online trainings, there are a lot of institutes providing the trainings, there are a lot of videos on the DevOps. Okay, so whenever they are talking about tools, okay, so you can, like I said, okay, so these are all the tools, and these are all the mandatory tools, these are all the non-mandatory tools. Okay, so you can decide on these tools, then you can start off your learning, then do a project on that, definitely you will get a job on that. Okay, so this is what the learning path. Okay, so this is how you need to uh, manage things. Okay, and also, like I said, if you want a job, if it is not a DevOps tool, then these prerequisites also will give you a job. And also, as an add-on, if you add Ansible here, okay, so there is lot of demand for Ansible Linux with scripting. Okay, so lot of demand in the market with this set of tools also. Okay, it's not mandatory that you should go for DevOps only. Okay, so even if you are going for AWS cloud, with this combination of AWS also, it's very good in the market. Not only AWS, Azure, GCP, whatever it might be, whatever cloud it is. Okay, so that is also very good in the market. Okay, and also if you are going with cloud with Kubernetes, okay, so cloud with K8 also, it's very good in the market. Okay, so these are all the jobs which are available in the market right now. Okay, it's not mandatory that you should go for DevOps, you should learn all these tools, then only you can survive. Okay, so no, even if you go with this combination, entire all DevOps tool stack combination, okay, your package is same. Okay, so they are not going to give you an extensive level of package or the benefits. Okay, so if you're going as a DevOps engineer, they don't see you as a mega star or a superhero. Okay, so all these things. Okay, so even if you break this as an individual stacks, individual tools for individual jobs, everyone get a same package in the organization. They are not going to treat you as a special person if you are going for the DevOps with all these tools. Okay, so remember that one point. Okay, so if you feel like you cannot go for all these tools, okay, even you can crack jobs with these minimal tools also. Okay, so even only for Terraform there are openings. Okay, only for Terraform. Okay, so only for Terraform, in the sense you should know cloud definitely. Okay, because you are launching the infrastructure on the cloud. Okay, so using Terraform, if you are very good to launch a AWS infrastructure, Azure or GCP, you have opportunities in the market right now. Okay, so it's not mandatory to learn all these tools. Okay, so but if you are very much interested to move only into the DevOps role, then yes, this is the information, like you need to follow the information which I have given. Okay, so hope you guys have got a clear picture of how you go and learn DevOps. And thanks for watching this video. I'm not going to do all the videos in English, but this is just a learning path. So I've just done this in English. Okay, so uh, moving forward, when I'm doing on technologies, I'll definitely do that in Telugu. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye.